the bounty hunters. All right, so first part of the drama is over, Pukey says as they finally place the governess into a tri-tight holding chamber, and he turns around to the rest. Now, does anyone want or need medical attention, or... He trails off at the image of Sally holding onto the downright vibrating Susie Lou. A tour? Yes, Susie Lou almost screams in their faces, and there's more than a little laughter. All right, who wants to go back down and who wants to show them around? Pukey asks, and the hat chuckles. I'll be going back down. I got taken, so I need to feel a little more manly after that. Drag in some kind of local monster and see if I can't make a hat out of it. He, Slithern, Tang, Itchy, Airfarce, Jade, Onyx, and half the Nagasha girls say at once. Yeah, that, the hat says with a cocky grin. Right, fine. I'll need to speak with the oncoming army anyways. So a quick tour and some visitor communicators before setting you two loose on the ship is the plan. Really? Susie Lou asks. Yes, I'm basically giving you both keys to every place you're allowed. If the door's locked, don't try to open it beyond that and otherwise poke around. What are you locking away? Delicate and sensitive things, our personal rooms, dangerous things. Some of the weapons we use are extremely dangerous, and if you accidentally set them loose, you'll kill yourself and horrible contaminate part of the ship. Didn't we get rid of most of that? Yes, but we still have the production facilities for things like mustard gas if we need it. If they start banging on computers, there is a non-zero chance of starting up a production sequence. So those rooms are staying locked up nice and tight. Yeah, okay, I've seen enough episodes and movies about how stupidly and unlucky people of the galaxy can be, Itchy says. Hey, Sally protests, it's nothing personal. It's just that you don't understand a lot of things here and around weapons and weapon production areas. Ignorance can kill you. Everyone can head back to the shuttle. I'll show these girls around, get them squared away, and then start talking to the Empire to make sure nothing stupid happens. Do y'all run into stupid enough for it to be that big a concern? Sally asks, and Pukey nods. The galaxy is huge, all right? There's a lot of space and enough dark, dank corners for stupid ideas to grow until they roll out and start crushing people. There are parts of the galaxy so safe you can go through your entire life half asleep and then extend your life to 1,000 years and still never wake up. Combine that with the ability to heal from anything short of dead, and the really stupid people never become a proper example of what to never do to the not-so-stupid people. So, wait, y'all are saying. There are some girls who live to 100 and never see fire, or even stand upon the ground of a planet. Some spend their whole lives in places where everything is tame and tailored to their every need. Huh. And if someone like that is in the approaching Imperial Army, I need to get ahead of any possible misunderstandings. Y'all think that a soldier would be so soft? It's possible, but I was more thinking about the potential problems with the ambassadors they're sending for our squishy friends underground. For the children. We're going to need a better name for their race. They're probably going to do the basic thing where they just don't translate what they call themselves. I mean, Slithern shrugs. Nagasha, if restored to its original pronunciation, translates literally to the people. Really? Pukey asks. Yes, really. And you know this because you helped me with the history assignment yourself. Slithern snaps. Calm down, kiddo. I'm just teasing you. Pukey says playfully. Anyway, Scaly, you and your team are to merge with the Hats, got it? Now you can all fall out now, and yeah, I shouldn't have expected anything else. They always like that? Sally asks. Oh, we're addicted to getting in trouble. It's what happens when you train people as hard as you can and get them strong, energetic, and thinking constantly. They get bored out of their minds and desperate for something to do. Sally chuckles at that before Pukey gestures for them both to follow. All right, we were all serious getting the governess into a room she couldn't just teleport out of, so we didn't have proper introductions, but welcome to the Chainbreaker. This old ship has a very long and storied history. It may even be older than the entire species of the children whom we've all met, and yes, Pukey begins and trails off as Susie Lou holds up a hand. Do you have anything to eat? They didn't starve me, but the food was never enough down there. Right, sorry. Yes, I'll get some food brought over while we head to our first stop. And that is? Sally asks. The infirmary. Susie, you've been held by a hostile force for a while, so we're going to give you at least a good look over to make sure you're not badly hurt in some way that's not immediately obvious. Even if they haven't beaten you or starved you, there could have still been some things in that room that are mildly poisonous and have to build up before you see what they do, or some kind of bug that numbed your skin and then crawled into you. So we're going to check you over, and if we have to use a healing sleep to restore you to full health, sound like a plan? So I get poked at while you get me something to eat, and then if I'm feeling off, y'all let me have a nap? That's your doctor care? No blades or bone saws? Do you want the blades and bone saws? Pukey asks in an amused tone. No. Then we'll skip them. And the healing sleep is a powerful effect, also called a healing coma or a regenerative coma. It's something with a lot of names, but it's basically copying the trick that a people who are worshipped as living gods use to stay alive basically forever. Oh, so y'all are being completely serious. Y'all are completely able to live for as long as you like? Sally asked. Yes, I've actually grown a little younger in the past 6 months instead of older. It's something I need to watch, but a common problem for people in jobs where they get injured a great deal. Wait! That's implying that you'll keep losing that arm and eye? Or do you cut them off or out? Neither. There's a modified version of the healing sleep that makes it so you don't grow parts back. A lot of people, especially those like me, with interesting scars and prosthetics, use that one instead. Why does Scaly use it? Susie Lou asks. The reasons he tells me change every time, but the one I believe is that he doesn't want to be taken by a crazy woman again. So he wants to be ugly, Pukey says, and the two women look at him oddly. Yeah, he's got some issues to work through, but how far he's come is nothing short of a miracle already. Some people never move past the things he's been through. What happened? Sally asked. I'll explain as we walk to the infirmary. It goes back to the speech about the ship I was about to give, Pukey says before starting to move. Both Begrob follow closely. Now, we've traced this ship back to its original creation as the Chain of Wisdom, a search and rescue vessel created nearly 500 years ago. One of its rescues about 30 years into service turned out to be an ambush, and the ship was taken by pirates. It was renamed the Chaining and massively up-armed and armored to create a brutal combat ship, which was not hard considering it had the powerful sensors and robust engines of a rescue craft designed to find people in and out alive of places where everything was actively exploding, have time to get in and save them, then get out alive. So your ship is mean and strong? It is. The Chaining then proceeded to spend the rest of its time passing from hands to hands until about 50 years ago, where it ended up in the grips of absolutely sadistic monsters. Slave takers are bad, but cannibal slave takers are far worse. Cannibals? Cannibals? What the fuck? It's usually more tragic than anything, Pukey says. How is a cannibal tragic? When it's a degenerative disease that strikes at random and haunts an otherwise good people? Pukey asks. What? The snicked, strong, capable, and compassionate, and at random a sickness passed through them can strike. One that makes it so that all the disgust that you'd feel to the idea of eating someone alive and screaming is now on eating normally, and eating someone alive and screaming feels normal. But it's rare, and getting rarer with each and every generation. But it's a dark specter over a good species. Pukey says, that sounded personal. I took time to deal with my fear head on, because not only did one of them attack the boy I adopted as son and ate him alive, but she was the one that cut out my eye as well, Pukey says, tracing the scar. I spoke with numerous snicked. Wherever we go that there's a significant population, I make a point of talking to and meeting a few. Learning that there in fact, are methods to undo the damage and fight down the cannibalism urges like they're a flare-up. The tragedy is that the snicked have the shadow of cannibalism looming over them while they've done so much to stomp down on it. The rare monsters like the one that brutalized Scaly just make it worse for the poor girls. One cut your eye out and now you feel sorry for him? Something like that. And what'd they do to earn this forgiveness? Nothing. Forgiveness is given, not earned. And if I didn't, then I'd be in the wrong for accusing a whole for what a single mad woman did, Pukey says, and Sally gives him an odd look. Think about it like this. The governess screwed you and your sister over. Would it be fair for you to hate the Let for what this one Lette did? No, it wouldn't. Scaly is still nervous around Snikt and won't go near them if he doesn't have to. But the fact he doesn't draw a weapon on the same kind of people that actively aid him as he screamed for mercy shows a lot of strength of character. You're proud of him, Susie Lou says. Every day, Pukey replies as he leads them into a lift. Now, this ship has multiple levels, and the lifts are the easiest way to access them. What are the other ones? The hangars for shuttles have access to multiple floors. The maintenance tunnels are... The what? Susie Lou asks. I'll show you in a moment. Pukey promises before the door opens. Here. He walks up to a wall and runs his hand down it before finding a small indent. He presses it in and uses it to pop the wall panel off. All ships have these maintenance tunnels. Most are pretty big, but here in the Chainbreaker, they're pretty small. More places to just reach in and around to fix things, Pukey says. There is, however, enough room to fully get in and move around. It's not going to be comfortable, though, and most ships have them with a lot more room on the inside. So, how do y'all know nothing's hiding in these? Sally asks. What does this do? Susie Lou asks, pointing to some pipes. That is an Atmo pipe. The insides are covered in axiom markings that scrub and clean the air inside, and the pipes move the air around in the ship, keeping it all fresh and flowing. It's a fairly old trick and is in fact the backup system to the air in this ship, Pukey explains. In these, Susie Lou asks, how about I get you a holo novel to read about it? We have the ship blueprints, Pukey offers. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Susie Lou exclaims and rushes off. You gonna stop her? Sally asks. She's going the right way anyways. Also, the infirmary is clearly labeled. She'll have to go blind to miss it. Pukey answers. Not sure I like the idea that it's smart to be going around in something where there's no guarantee of air. Leastways, that's what I've gathered, and that y'all need stuff like that Atmo pipe. Spaceflight isn't for everyone. Maybe you just need a bit to get used to it? Maybe. Sally trails off in thought.